Good morning, guys, and welcome. It's morning now. So, anyway, good morning, guys, and welcome to YouTube. This is my channel, Ollie JHN. Today, I'm going to be talking about something that most people hate. They can't stand, they want to get rid of, they want to smash up, they want to throw in the bin. I don't, because I have a pet, but this is everything you need to know about snakes and, more importantly, snake bites. But just before I start this debate, I want to quickly introduce you to this. This is that show I was talking about in the intro. It's the Summer Light Lounge. Hopefully you remember it. And it was under construction 3 weeks ago. It's nearly done. Just behind me, behind the camera, there's still work being done. But this half is done. The outside is done. So I'm very excited for this to finally be here and ready. But that's enough about that. So of course, with any dangerous animal, there's always a misconception of how dangerous they really are. For example, shark attacks and the big fear of those, or of course snake bites, spiders and all of that lot. However, let's just get a fact into your head to start with. 150 people die per year on average from falling coconuts on their head. So everything does have a risk. You could go out the door in the front morning, walk out into the road, and bang, you're hit by a car. So you need to put things into perspective. Anything's dangerous in a certain dose. From walking across the street to walking your dog to being attacked by pigeons, who bloody knows? But anything could happen. But anyway, on to snakes. Let's start with some facts and let's try and work out at the end of this talk if they really are dangerous or not. I want to start off with my pet snake. She's an African corn snake. And I was told she'd grow about that big, about a metre. No, that wasn't the case. Take a look at her now. Yeah, so whoever sold her to me completely lied. She's a lot bigger. In fact, let me show you how big she is through this. This is her shedding that she sheds. They do that every about 2 months. And when they do shed, I just want to show you this. I'm going to put this on my feet. Okay, so I'm standing on the tip. And I'm going to put it up towards me. So she's basically as tall as me. She's about, just under that, 5'7". There's this big misconception that every snake has poison and it's venomous and blah de blah de blah. Well, that's the first thing you'll be wrong at. In fact, let's give you a little fact. There's over 3,500 species of snake, and only 200 of those are capable of having strong enough venom to kill a person. However, not every snake is even venomous to start with. Some have a small amount of venom, like a bee sting, for example, the adder that lives in the UK. Some might not have venom at all, like my pet snake, which is a constrictor. So a constrictor works a bit like this. It'll wrap around you, crush until the blood circulation stops, kill you, and then swallow you whole. A venomous snake works with a quick jab of the needle-like veins. The venom then goes into you, stops the heart rate, and then they decide to digest you. There's a big worry about getting eaten by snakes. In fact, there's hardly any snakes that could even do that. I mean, you don't believe you're walking out the street and this big snake comes and eats you. You've got more chance of being consumed by a bus. No, that can't happen. So let's give you some facts. There are very few snakes that are big enough to actually digest a whole human. One of those is the green Anaconda, the biggest in the world. They average something like 17 feet, but some have been known to grow to nearly 30 feet. Yes, that's nearly 9 meters in length. So that has a good chance of swallowing you whole. Quite a big chance, actually. Another big snake is the Burmese python, growing to 5.7 meters in length. Yes, that's big enough as well. And finally, boa constrictors, growing to about 4.3 meters. So there are snakes out there. None of them live in the UK. In fact, the biggest is a grass snake, growing just over a meter. And that's not going to swallow you, unless you're some sort of Oompa Loompa. That is the first thing. You're probably not going to be swallowed by a snake. However, you can be bit by them, and let's get into the serious facts now about being bit by snakes. I'll be honest with you, before I looked into this, I was thinking, well, you've probably got more chance of a coconut falling on your head than being bitten by a snake and dying. However, that actually isn't true. To put it in perspective, 100,000 people are likely to die from a snake bite this year. That's 100,000. And a tenth of that number is in India, and another tenth of that is in Indonesia. So there are some parts of the world where you're far more likely to die of a snake bite. However, could that be poverty? Let's compare India and Australia. So India Over 10,000 people die a year of snake bites. However, in Australia, 3,000 people get bitten by snakes. On average, 400 need anti-venom to combat that venom. So that means it's strong enough to kill them. They need anti-venom. But only 2 to 3 are actual fatal. Is that because of the anti-venom that exists in Australia? Let's take a look at the anti-venom. In India, there's only one anti-venom. It does cover 4 snakes, but only one anti-venom. In Australia, on the other hand, there are 7 antivenoms which cover a range of 10 snakes. So Australia has over double the amount of snakes covered by antivenoms compared to India. So poverty could be one of these things that does sum up being bitten by a snake and dying from it. Comparing that to the US, there are about 8,000 venomous snake bites a year. But I could count on my hand how many deaths there are from those bites. So let's quickly sum up a few big deadly snakes. And when I say deadly, I'm now talking about venomous, because that is the perceived thing. The black mamba, one of the largest venomous snakes, is 2.5 meters long. The king cobra is our longest venomous snake at 5.5 meters. However, they don't have to be long necessarily to be able to be deadly. The taipan and the eastern brown snake, for example, can also be just as deadly with their venom. All those 4 snakes I mentioned there are in the top 10 venomous snakes. So let's now lead to a summary. Are you going to get killed by a snake? If you're in the UK, very unlikely. If you're somewhere else like India and Indonesia, it is far more of a problem. However, let's average that up to a global scale instead of on a country. So there are around 100,000 deaths per year by snakes. However, 5.5 million people are actually bitten by snakes. So the death to bite ratio is 1.8%. So 1.8% of people that are bitten by a snake will die from it. Quite a small percentage. Secondly, now let's compare that to people dying from snakes and the total people in the world. That's 7.4 billion to be precise. So you have a 0.001% chance of dying by a snake. There's your answer. If you're worrying about being bitten by a snake, in the UK you've probably got more chance of being run over by a bike ridden by Boris Johnson. So that sums it up. Why do people like me have pet snakes? Firstly, they're not venomous. Secondly, if you encounter a poisonous snake, just leave it. And thirdly, I have been bitten by a snake. But maybe most surprisingly for you to hear, it isn't very painful. And the reason why is their fangs are so sharp, they enter the skin like needles and you don't even feel them pierce the skin. When my snake bit me a couple of years ago, which was my fault because I put my hand in while she was in hunting mode, she bit me here in the finger and I didn't even realise, it was so quick. By the time I realised, she was already inside me. I wiggled my hand and she came out, and all there was a bit of bruising. Being bitten by a non-venomous snake certainly isn't the end of the world. Just to end this video, I want to show you a quick clip. Anyone of a nervous disposition or don't like anything gruesome, please do look away now. This is my snake eating a dead mouse, and this is called on slow mode on an iPhone, so everyone sort of knows how slow that is. Thank you so much for watching this video today. I've been Ollie, JHN. If you like this video, then please do give a like, it would be much appreciated. If you want to see more videos like this based on photography and my hobbies, including reptiles, then please give it a subscribe. And also please do comment below, leave your comments on what you thought of this video, and if you'd like to see more videos like this and on reptiles. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye. Details of what's coming up next on my channel are on screen now. Yes, I am going to be heading to Cornwall for a few days straight after this video, and they are going to bring you a series of videos including vlogs, surfing and more photography. So thank you so much for watching. I've been Ollie, JHN. Thank you.